It's the little things in life that often make the biggest difference. Let's talk about it. Welcome to It's Monday. What's Jonathan thinking? Hey everyone, and once again, we are back in the studio to bring you another episode of It's Monday. What's Jonathan thinking? Thank you to everyone who responded to my question of the week, which asked, what are the small things that make a big difference? I absolutely loved and cherished all your responses. For example, Anusha Jalila offered, communication makes a big difference. It takes a few minutes to communicate, but makes a big difference once we do it. I couldn't agree more, Anusha. Oscar Chaudhry, a fellow member of the executive leadership team here at CG Infinity, wrote, being kind takes very little effort, but changes the world around you. It's quite possible that I might be looping back to that one, Mr. Oscar. Thank you for sharing. And Becky Manny provided her thoughts with a good, healthy team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Nice. I love that adage. So true. Elisa Jordan, whom you've seen join me on this show in episode 19, offered her thoughts with gratitude and appreciation, both giving and receiving. Absolutely, Lisa. So true. I love this one from Sarisha Chelakamari. I hope I pronounced your name right. The high five in the mirror when I wake up. Absolutely. Self-care and self-affirmation. So important. So important. Akash Sharma provided his thoughts with the spontaneous realisticness, amiability, and accommodating with the people makes a great difference indeed. Well, Akash, I might need a while to unpack that one, but thank you for offering your response. One more over the weekend, I received extending a small courtesy and watching the effect. An example, holding the door for someone or thanking them for something most people wouldn't notice. This came from Dipali Bhatia Patel. Thank you, everyone, for responding to this thread. I get so excited when we see so much collaboration and activity. You can definitely expect more questions of the week going forward. Also, thank you to my Swami of social media, Jacob Fishman, for offering this idea of posting a question of the week. I think you're onto something, Jacob. All right, acknowledgements and thank yous taken care of. Let's talk about the power of small things. You know, it's really uncanny, right? Small things like holding a door for someone or looking someone in the eye, being present, i.e. not multitasking when you are in a meeting with someone or taking a moment out of your day to just check in on someone. We could collectively create an exhaustive list of simple things that you can do to make a big difference in someone's life. So why am I thinking about it this week? Well, I had an experience while I was catching up with one of my teammates during my New Delhi trip where he reminded me of something I had done over 3 years ago that stuck with him. It was simple. I just called him. He was going through a tough time on a project we were on, and it was one of those situations where we moved him from something he was comfortable with to a new challenge, and he was just having a little trouble adjusting. So we found some time in our busy calendars to catch up, and I just simply checked in to see what was going and maybe see if there was anything I could do to help. I honestly, in the moment, was not reaching out because I wanted to, increase my own stature. I was simply just concerned and wanted to see if I could help in any way. As my colleague put it, though, it's not what we talked about that he was most appreciative of. It was simply that I reached out. It's just a reminder, I think, that as leaders, we get super focused on the big things, right? Winning the big deal, delivering the big project, making sweeping changes to move our organizations forward. And let's be honest, many of us are climbing up our own career ladders, and those big things matter. That is what improves our own stature in our fields. Through my journey, I've been blessed to be a part of some of those bigger things. But for my teams, it's often something different. It's not the big things that make the most impact. It's the small things that seem to have the most lasting effect. The one-on-one meetings, the simple gestures of appreciation, the seemingly innocuous acts of caring. Most importantly, I think being present with your team and being the leader who listens. More often, it's not being the one with the solution that makes a lasting impression. It's being the person in the organization that offers things like open-mindedness, respect, non-judgment, and empathy. Being the one who creates space for others to figure out how they want to solve things. Giving them grace, maybe, to make a mistake or two along the way. These aren't lessons I've learned in the boardroom or in the business world per se. These are things that have been reinforced to me as I've gone through some training lately to be a counselor at a crisis hotline, where we are specifically directed not to offer solutions to people in crisis. Our jobs are simply to be there for people, to walk alongside them. Surprisingly, these same skills that we use to help people in the middle of tremendous events in their lives are the same skills that have remarkable results when we use them for the people in our organizations. So as we move into this week, as you lay out your daily objectives, I encourage you to maybe start an equal list of the small things right alongside the list of big things that you need to do. Who should you reach out to today for no other reason than it's been a while since you last checked in? Who's struggling and might just need a listening ear? Are you modeling not only the big things that leaders do, but also the small things that more often than not make the biggest difference in your organizations? Thank you for tuning in this week. This week, I'll be traveling off to New York to participate in the Energy Marketing Conference. If you are planning on attending, please be sure to come to the CG Infinity booth on the 5th floor in the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. It'd be great to catch up with you and maybe continue this discussion on the small things. And I'll see you next Monday for another episode of It's Monday, What's Jonathan Thinking? Bye for now.